Welcome back to It's Your Law. I'm George Curtis, and for those of you who think that lawyers don't really work, we're doing this on a Sunday morning. In the studio is located at our new offices here in Oshkosh along the frontage road of Highway 41. I'm here every Sunday morning. My wife gets me away to church now and then. And Judge Scott Woldt is here on Sunday morning as well, and he goes to church. He goes to the YMCA. He and his wife are supporters of many things that are going on in the community, but I see Lynn at the Y all the time. Your daughters are swimmers and participate in the community, and he takes a part of his Sunday morning to come and discuss these things with the community. So lawyers work and judges work, and good judges work probably harder than they did as lawyers. Isn't that true?
And it is true. Just like any position, you'll have people who are trying to do a better job. It can be someone picking up garbage or someone being a judge. I just believe that in order for me to do justice, if you will, on every case that I have, I have to review it and I have to research it. And that's the only way I feel comfortable on the bench. If someone comes up with something, I tell attorneys, don't hand me a 10-page brief when I'm deciding the case and expect me to have read it. I just can't. I didn't go to Evelyn Wood's speed reading class. I can't think about it. Don't do that. So I think that's got out there. I have that reputation. So people know that I really do read this stuff.
And you have that reputation, and you obviously like being a judge and do a real good job at it. It's a job I've been offered a couple of times because of my political affiliations, and no way do I want that. And I think the most difficult thing for me would have been, had I accepted any judge's job, would be weighing between the family of the victim in a criminal case and the family of the defendant in the criminal case. They all have such great arguments as to why you should be very, very tough on sentencing or very, very soft, lenient, and forgiving on sentencing. How do you handle that?
Yeah, it's difficult. I just, as we were talking earlier, Zachary Reed murder trial I just had that sentencing, and it was a very difficult case. And when you have someone, a child killing their parent, it's very emotional for the whole family because they're intertwined with the victims and the family of the defendant on the case. It was very difficult. And during the sentencing, both attorneys were arguing that there's this one letter that one of the family members sent in, and it was a fantastic letter. And then when I was sentencing, I said, well, from my perspective, it wasn't. And the reason it wasn't because the person went on for 5 pages about all of the reasons why my decision was so difficult. I knew that, and all it did is made me relive it one more time. It's difficult when I have a criminal case and I'm sentencing someone. We get what are called pre-sentence investigation reports. The probation agent will go out and talk to family members, the defendant, do a total history on the person and give that to me and make a recommendation. When I'm thinking about what I'm going to do in sentencing, and I'll do that a week ahead of time, during that whole week up until sentencing, I'm thinking about the case. I wake up and I think about the case. I'm always considering what I'm going to do, try to fashion an argument that makes sense, a sentence that makes sense, and put all my thoughts down to paper before I go in there and actually give the decision. That being said, I have an idea what I'm going to do before I go in there, but I listen to the arguments and I make the decision when I'm sitting there. And sometimes I'll go a lot different than I thought because I heard something.
Well, there are many factors that I don't think the public understands that go into a sentence. Yes, we have to consider the law, but yes, we learn a lot about the background of the individuals, and many of these people who are before you, and many of the victims, had unfortunate lives previously. They usually aren't the luckiest people in terms of the gifts that they were given, the family support they were given, the education. Often they're minorities. And of course you're sentencing not only has to reflect some understanding and sympathy of that, but it has to send a message to the community that we don't kill people no matter how provoked. How many factors do you consider?
Well, the three primary factors for sentencing are the seriousness of the offense, the character of the defendant, and the need to protect the public. Those are the three primary ones we're supposed to consider. Now, what do those mean? A seriousness offense can be if the legislature said this is life in prison, what the ramifications are, or the guidelines, the maximum minimums for a sentence. It could be those. It could be how aggravated the situation is. Character can do with whether they have, like you said, the good family, do they have family support, is this a first-time offense, what do they do in the community. It could be education, you name it, everything that goes into character. And then when you go into protection of public, do I think this person's going to do it again? Do they have a history of doing other crimes? Is it slowly getting more and more violent? All those factors go into decision. And with victim rights now, victims get to go up there and they get to tell me what they think before sentencing. Some exercise that, some don't.
So there are many factors, and part of it has to be a message to the rest of the community that no matter what the circumstances, there isn't any excuse to take a life, take a risk, drive while intoxicated, and do some of those things. Even though under the circumstances you have many factors in your favor, we still have to send a message that crime does not pay in Winnebago County. And people read the paper and say, oops, I've done that. I guess I won't do that some more. And that's part of your job as a judge to send that message. Judge, we're out of time. I am very pleased that you came and shared your thoughts today. I got you here today because I wanted to talk to you about a totally different subject, and maybe we can persuade you to take a whack at that shortly. Thank you very much.
Thank you.